Jerry Irwin along with Peter Hindle on the
right.
other side of the blue line. We are on Thanksgiving Eve.
That's right.
We are ready for the big fat turkey tomorrow.
That's the story.
You gonna sleep?
After?
Yeah.
Maybe. It's you got to measure your intake of the tryptophan. My doctor says not to go over certain milligrams, and I try to do that because
we can supplement
it
with
certainly
our-
doesn't help
with
when
our-
your
with our
family
beverages.
tries to talk to you after the tryptophan, and that's a battle of attrition. You know.
Give them the blank stare.
You're like a plane, and you just try to keep the altitude as you slowly start to plummet into a mountainside. But yeah, so I'm ready for some tryptophan. I mean, is there some hockey on? Can we watch some hockey?
I don't know if there's hockey on
Yeah,
tomorrow.
kind of a football day. It's traditionally a football day.
Yeah,
but
well, if you don't like the Redskins, it is. The Redskins take on the Giants tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Which should be a good game.
Yeah.
Seeing the Giants are 2-9 since they beat the Chiefs the other day in a major upset.
Yeah.
Which is good for the Giants. I mean, any morale booster. Look at my team, the Redskins. We've had a rough. We were up 31-16 with 4 minutes left.
It didn't happen.
And we lost in overtime.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I can't say what I actually felt and said in the car by myself, listening to ESPN radio.
Yeah.
Just a horrible, horrible situation. Now, other than the turkey, what is your favorite food? I mean, the turkey's obvious, but is it mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes?
It'd be mashed potatoes or bread, because rolls are good,
Bread, that fills you up, though. You
Exactly.
can't enjoy the other stuff.
Well, there's nothing else really
Do you
that
like
good.
stuffing?
No.
Well, that's bread.
No, that's not bread.
That's wet bread.
It's
Okay, do you like
it's
gravy?
where the sun don't shine loaf. Yeah, you don't want that. Let me just say, that's the inside. That's giblets and the you don't want that. So and I don't do the gravy thing either. Yeah, because that's not good either. Butter is gravy. That's you churn that. What are you gonna do? So
dessert. Do you like pie?
Some of them. Yeah.
Apple pie?
Apple pie's okay.
Do you like pumpkin pie?
It's all right. It's okay. I mean, not really that great. I don't know what people were thinking.
We're trying to put people in the mood, and you're
it's
not helping out too much
well,
here.
there's a lot of stuff that's not good. Just it's not that great. Stuffings, gravy, nah. There's bread. There's some rolls. There you go.
Amazing.
Done. Then you put the turkey in the bread. Boom, sandwich. Look at that. You're changing things up already.
You got your bread and your turkey.
Yeah, there you go.
You're back to the beginning
exactly.
again.
That's what I'm saying.
This is like having Costello.
We should have a hockey team called the Turkeys. There's a lot of turkeys in Connecticut. Have you seen all the turkeys running around Connecticut?
Yeah, they're
all running their way trying to get out of there before someone shoots them.
I tell you.
So it's a dangerous thing. Get
Now
chasing turkeys.
Now that we've screwed up the whole Thanksgiving thing.
Well, we're dealing with a lot of turkeys in Connecticut. There was a lot of turkeys that did not vote for the money for the XL. Will they be on the table tomorrow on the chopping block?
Well, come November, next November actually.
Yeah.
Not this November.
Yeah.
I'll retire and watch from a distance how the elections go.
That's
It
right.
should be fun to watch.
Next November
a
there'll
little
be
shout,
fine turkeys.
We should shout out to Kurt Vail. He did a lot of hard work with the Crumbling Foundations.
Yes.
And today, John Larson announced that those people affected with the Crumbling Foundations would be able to take some of that off on their taxes.
Which is
after
right.
November.
It's terrible that this happened too, because how would you ever know as a homeowner that someone's got crappy concrete? There's just no other word for it. And now, I don't know how it all works, but for some reason you can't go after the people that did the foundations. So now it becomes a state problem. And of course, we don't really need any other expensive things because we can't do the XL Center because there's so many other things, but we've never done the XL Center to
But
begin
we have to
So,
tell Kurt did a good job. He
Yeah.
really started that with his constituents,
Right.
And he followed through. So good job, Kurt.
Yes, he
it
did.
was good to see
Yeah.
John Larson announce that today, and
Right.
we realized that you worked really hard on that project.
Right.
So
And without Kurt Vail, there would be no license plates.
that's right.
No
that
license plate
was
bill.
the secondary thing he worked on.
Yeah, and that was
And as we testified in front of the legislature, we understood that, yes, we were testifying in front of the legislature for a license plate, not for anything of great importance that affects people's lives.
No.
This enhances people's lives, but not to the point of their houses falling in.
I mean, it's good for the charity work that to go to the CCMC. That's great, but Kurt Vail was very adamant about hey guys, this crumbling foundation thing, that was his main priority, one of his main priorities, and he was doing a lot of important stuff. So we just appreciated that he could find some time to help us out with the license plate bill, because I'm telling you that was really, his staff and everybody did a great job and walked us through the process, as we did that. So, look for that. That's supposed to be January 1st. There is a question, we have concern about, did the budget kind of delay it at all? We're trying to look into that. We've got our hands out to the CCMC to see if they have any news and updates on that. But locally, let's talk some UConn hockey for what we can.
Fortunately, they came up with a big win last night in Vermont. They won the season series with Vermont, 4-1 up in Vermont.
Yes.
So it was a good turnout. Huska played a very solid game in goal.
Yep.
So it's nice to see them get back on the winning and break that losing streak.
Oh my gosh, it was brutal. I mean, they had a tie against Ohio State, but other than that, they had lost 5 straight, including the tie. So the ties mixed in there. But they were 0-1 and 5. I'm sorry, 0-5 and 1. And here they played well against Vermont. And actually, the last time they won was against Vermont when they beat them 5-1 at the XL Center. The following night, they did lose to them 4-2. And then they beat them last night 4-1, going out to a 3-0 first period lead, which is really nice. They got the jump, and now they have the lead. That's they've had this thing with Vermont where they play well. We should play Vermont all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We go right to the playoffs right away.
They outscored them in 3 games, 11-6, and we could show the standings here. Lindsay's got the first picture. Now UConn, actually offensively, believe it or not, they're second in goal production in Hockey East.
Wow.
However, on the other side of the dial, the defense is not really doing that well. They've probably given up the most goals. Yeah,
3-6-1.
Yeah. So that's in the conference. They're 3-6-1 overall. I think it's worse than that. They're 4-9-1. I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. And we've seen some. The games have been okay, but they're not pulling
Actually,
upsets.
they're 4-10-2.
Yeah, 4-10-2.
And then Boston College is 8-1-0
in the conference.
The conference, and 8-5-1 overall.
Right.
When you look at, we've seen Boston College come in. We've seen Boston University come in.
Right.
And we saw the type of games they play. And I thought when UConn played those 2 clubs, they played them pretty tough, but they just came up on the losing end, and they just lost to UMass, 2 games in a row?
Yeah,
which really hurt.
Yeah, especially the 1-0. They got shut out for the second time in the XL history. They got shut out by Army a couple years ago, but this was a 1-0 shutout.
And Massachusetts,
no offense.
And Massachusetts is 2-3-0, and that was 2 wins against UConn.
Yeah. And is that Lowell, or you're looking at Amherst? Lowell would be the top.
Look at Massachusetts.
Yeah. So.
And they're second to last. Last is Merrimack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, hey, they play Merrimack later in the season. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you give this team that was winless. Now you have 2-3 now because they beat UConn back to back. UConn, you really has to get going because last year we were so excited, and now you hit this slump, and we hope it's just a slump, and they're coming out of it now.
They're really going to have to rattle off. And the bad news about it is, Hockey East is always tough. But, you look at BC is ranked 14th. They got Northeastern coming in this Tuesday, the 28th, and that is Northeastern's ranked 12th in the country. They got 2 games against Providence, I think in February or January, and that they ranked 10th.
Now, who's in Saturday?
Saturday is RIT.
Okay, RIT. No, I'm sorry. RIT is Tuesday night.
No, I think it's Saturday, and then Tuesday is Northeastern.
Okay, all right.
But RIT is a team that they played last year over, wherever RIT is. But anyway, so
it's up in Rochester, New York.
And I think
that's the one they drew like some 16,000 people for the game.
It's,
it was amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. So Saturday is I think it's a 3:35
start.
Usually
what it is.
Yeah, it's usually in the afternoon, and then Tuesday would be your regular.
And the Wolfpack's back home on the 25th.
Yeah, that's right. They have that. They usually have a
Saturday
teddy bear
or Sunday?
toss.
That's Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the 25th.
Is Saturday night.
Yeah.
So the UConn game will be 3:30. Wolfpack will be 7 or 7:30, depending on how much they can.
Done that a couple times.
Turn it
It's kind of
over.
fun to see the double decker. You see 2 games. I'll never forget the best one I ever saw was the Wolfpack were playing an afternoon game on November 5th, 2014, and the night game was BC and UConn, and they got the 7 o'clock start, and that's when they beat BC 1-0.
That's right. Yep.
It was that huge 1 goal scored, and they won 1-0 in front of 8,089, and that was when it was great. But now people are getting used to the fact that UConn's, they're always under 500. This is the 4th year. Granted, it's Hockey East. They're not like the Las Vegas Golden Knights where you just walk in and you own the division.
Win all kinds of games.
Yeah. so that's the issue. But it's good to see that they can score. And I think we got a schedule stat for Lindsay can show up. They like I said, they've beaten Vermont twice. They beaten AIC, which was scary. They almost lost that game. But here we go. We got a couple games left. So we're about kind of getting midway through. You got 2 against Providence, got 2 against Merrimack. I think we have 1 more against BC. I think, I think they're all set with BU.
Yep.
And like I said, so they got the 10th ranked team, the 12th ranked team, the 13th ranked team, and the 14th. So they're playing. I mean, there's a lot of Hockey East, and don't forget they still have a game against Quinnipiac, which they never do well against Quinnipiac.
No. Providence, they never do well. They lost both games last year against Providence, and that was really disheartening. In one of them, they got shellacked. It's one of those things where, especially with the holidays coming up, you don't know what's going through these kids' minds. They're younger. They don't bounce back like the pros. The pros. Well, the pros are used to it. They travel. They do this. They do that. These are college kids,
right?
And they got a lot going on with schoolwork and everything else, that interfere with the hockey, which, by the way, academics are more important. But again, when you look at the caliber of team, the exciting games in the beginning, they were close. They had an opportunity to win those games.
Right.
And so.
Yeah, they got. So here it is, January 2nd, the day after New Year's. They will play Quinnipiac. That'll be at the XL Center, 7:05. So right after New Year's. Then they have also. This is your December schedule. So they got 2 games against UMass Amherst.
Okay.
The 1st and the 5th. That's a good place where they can pick up some wins. Hopefully,
but Amherst is ranked up there.
No, they're not ranked nationally, but Colgate.
But in the standings, they are.
Because
Massachusetts.
Well, Amherst, not Lowell.
Oh, okay.
They do that.
Lowell. I'm sorry, Lowell was.
And UMass. Up. I mean, come on, let's get this. Why are there 2 UMasses? Can we just pick one? You're UMass. You're not UMass. So we got the Lowell and Amherst there.
Yep.
So the Amherst they'll play in the 1st and the 5th home and home series, and then they have 18th ranked Colgate. So I mean, every time they turn around, even the non-conference games, they're playing teams that are ranked better than they are. And Huskies played well. They have absolutely no backup goaltender. We watched Creel play a game.
That was rough.
I think it was against Ohio State. Where they kind of spun
and they
around.
lost both of those, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost both of them. And Huska played the second game.
But he was down.
No, I'm sorry. They tied. That was a 1-1 tie. And then they lost.
The first one they got shellacked like 5-1.
Yeah, it was 5-2, 5-3, something like that.
No, it was 5-4 because they came back from 5-1.
Yeah. And that was one of those games where you think if Huska was playing, and I know you can't play him all the time, but if Huska was playing that first game, he's not giving up 5 goals, and they probably score. They probably win 4-3, 4-2, something like that.
Yeah.
But the second game, they were out of gas offensively, and it was a 1-1 tie. Ties are okay. I mean, they're not great, but when you're 4-10 and
exactly right.
Ties don't hurt as bad as they used to. So
it does.
In NHL action, what do we? One more thing about the UConn I wanted to say is so the scoring we were talking about was we have 4 UConn players that have 10 points in the conference already. So those guys are Spencer Nass, who's a senior.
And he had 2 goals the last time.
Yeah, he does. He's got a nice even split here. 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in 16 games, taking 57 shots, which is way more than any other UConn player is. And we like that because you put more shots on the net, some of them might go in.
Every hockey coach does the same thing.
Yeah.
Throw it on the net, you never know what's going to happen.
Yep, and then we got Carl El Amir, who also has 16 games, and he's been the assist guy. He's got 8 assists, 10 points, 2 goals in 16 games. About half the shots that Spencer Nass was taking with 24, but that guy is making plays. Then we have Maxim Laternov, of course, who's now with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, I believe. I think he's property for them.
Anaheim Ducks.
Oh, well, they're mighty, though.
They're mighty.
Yeah, they're mighty.
Huge.
The Disney team.
Yeah.
That's not anymore.
Not anymore.
So anyway, yeah. So he's been doing the assist thing too. So 2 and 8, 10 points.
Took a
with
couple
16
rough
games.
penalties the other night.
But he's shooting a lot well too. 44. 44 shots. Then we have Johnny Austin, 1 goal and 9 assists, 10 points. So. Hey, that's not bad. Everyone's contributing a little bit, and then they got Kasparari, Ojin, Tanakin.
Sure.
How does it go? But anyway, he's got 9 points. So, there you go. There's 4 or 5 guys, almost double-digit points.
And
the offense is good.
He's been trading up the lines a bit to obviously spark the interest out there.
Right.
We saw it. I saw it with several different players that I hadn't seen before this year when we were at the Vermont game. Right. And, Ronan sat out that game. I don't know if he was injured or it was a healthy scratch. And it's nice to see a different bunch out there. And obviously he's trying to do, Coach Cav is trying to do whatever he can to move them forward.
Yeah, and you know what? The attendance has reflected the kind of, the schedule, the lackluster 4-10-1 or 2 record. Games have been in the 3,000 to 3,500 range. That's kind of down from where they were. They were, in the 4,000s, and then previous to that, they even averaged 5,006 for a season. So it's kind of dropping, and some of it is that the team's not all kicking butt and taking names.
Right.
And the other part of it is, a lot of people are here, and the Excel Center's doomed.
Yeah.
Let's put a wet blanket on things. The team not playing that great, and these afternoon games sometimes don't draw as well. People do stuff during the day.
But you also see with the Wolfpack, because especially if it's a Saturday night, people go out. Now we're getting into the holiday season. People are going to be shopping. They're going to be traveling.
But
and again, Sundays, you got football.
Yeah, that's true. Until the end, that's why it always, after the New Year's, the attendance switches a little bit. But this is a market-wide thing, and, it is in the AHL is kind of roughly in the same ballpark where it's like 3,000 people show up, and it's been that way for the UConn and for the Wolfpack right now, and until they get a little bit better. I mean, but Wolfpack are not actually ripping the doors off anything either. I think they're 500 barely or just a little under. And they're almost 15, 16, 17 games into the season.
Yeah. We went to the last game, and I was at the last game, and I forgot who they were playing, and it was
Bridgeport.
I think it was Bridgeport, and they fell apart. But again, you do see a difference in the team this year, and Coach McCambridge is lighting a fire. So they are a more physical club, which I really, really enjoy seeing. That's the one thing that I've seen that has stuck out, and the goaltending is definitely Nell. He is the go-to guy. Great goaltender.
But
he has kept him in a lot of games. I was very impressed with his mobility within the crease, stopping so many shots.
Yeah. And you know what? That's going to be the Wolfpack situation. I mean, Halverson just did well in Greenville and won an award. I think he had faced the most shots he'd ever faced. And, you wonder, is he going to supplant Georgiev? And, will that make any movements? And
the scary thing is when Georgiev came in, another game, that was bad. That was really bad. I think they have to stick with Nell as the go-to guy and have Georgiev as the backup. The other night we had the privilege of going to Live, Work, Love, Hartford. We were at Peppercorn's on 375 Main Street?
357
Main
Street.
357 Main Street.
We were talking about the old days.
And
I got to show one picture here. Talk about the old days at Peppercorns. We have this picture here of the Excel Center, and I want you younger kids to see this picture because this is what it was like in Hartford Hockey. People say that the Whalers weren't supported. All those people are cardboard cutouts then. So shut your blowhole. You can see they were supported. Now, this is courtesy of Michael Patnote, a friend of ours on Facebook who was recently at a Whaler memorabilia?
Well, he went to, I think it was the Nostalgia store, and he picked up this picture that you can buy at the Novelty Sports at West Farms. And you can buy it, and he bought it. And it's a great reflection of the support that the Whalers had in filling up those seats. Because Peter and I were at those games, and those are not cardboard cutouts.
Right. And this is 90s, and they had a couple strikes years, and the team didn't draw as well. But we're talking about when all things were firing. When the team had good ownership, when the team had a solid play. I'm not asking for superstars. I mean, the Whalers didn't have a ton of superstars, but they had a good core team. They were competitive. They were the fourth grossing team in 1987. They had no attendance issues. And, so we were at Peppercorns, as you were saying.
And it's great because Dino, the owner, has been there for 29 years. He's going into his 30th year. And he talked about the ups and downs of that. And we also had a chance to meet with Jay Williams, the new president of the Hartford Foundation for Giving. So as we sign off tonight, we're going to play the interview with Dino from Peppercorns and David, the manager. And you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. We're the Whaler Guys, and we will see you next time on the Whaler Guys. We're one nation under green. Good evening and welcome to an on-location interview of the Whaler Guys. Jerry Irwin with Peter Hindle on the other side of the blue line. Not in the penalty box tonight. He's behaved most of the evening. Tonight we have Dave, the manager, and Dino, the owner of Peppercorns here on Main Street in Hartford. I must say, great wait staff, great menu. You got to come down to Peppercorns. Great atmosphere. Dino, you've owned it for over 30 years?
No, 29 years.
29. He's coming up on the 30th.
Yeah.
And what is your memories of Hartford throughout the years? You've seen it go from up, down, and where are we now? What are you thinking of the future of Hartford?
We're right in the middle somewhere.
We're right in the middle.
Of going up again, but we're not sure.
And how's the clientele here? You're still getting a steady business?
Yes, still a very steady business. We fill up on weekends quite a bit.
Excellent.
People love the place. They still come.
How would you explain your menu to someone who hasn't been here?
That's a hard one.
Is it Italian-American?
No, it's not Italian-American at all. It's contemporary Italian.
Contemporary
It's
Italian.
exactly what you might have in Italy.
Okay.
With just a little bit of tweaking for American palate. American palate is very intricate. Was that the right word? Can you help me here?
Sure.
Very different.
Particular. Yeah.
Not
like
exactly correct. Just
particular.
Not
Kind of like
correct.
me, Pete, right?
So basically, we're preparing really authentic Italian cuisine here, but we're adding a little things here and there to satisfy your palate and your family's palate.
Yes. And Dave, how long have you been here?
I've only been here a couple of months, but I ended up here. So Peppercorns had a fire, and back in the spring it was closed for 4 months. And when they reopened, I talked to Chef Dino. I've known him for years, just from being part of the city and the restaurant scene. Asked him if he needed anything, and he needed something, so I'm here managing a couple nights a week. I would add, he's very modest. I would add, you asked about the food. Everything he serves here is made from scratch, fresh. Everything.
I was going to say that you make your own pasta here, and that's a unique thing. I mean, not a lot of people do that. A lot of restaurants do that. And we're at 357 Main Street, by the way, here in Hartford. So come down here and try it out.
I had last time the most unbelievable steak. I'm Irish. I like meat and potatoes. And I must say, the steak melted in my mouth. So you have to come down here to Peppercorns on Main Street, 357 Main Street. See Chef Dino and Dave, who will be manning the front door. And I must say, have a Manhattan, because the Manhattan was really good, and Mike, the bartender, did a great job.
That's awesome.
So until next time, we're the Whaler Guys on location. Lindsay's behind the camera tonight. You guys have a great night. Remember, we bleed green. We're one nation under green. Have a great night.